know this. We know that styles make fights, and that should make for an interesting matchup tonight because the Spurs, they boast the league's second best defense. The Lakers, they rank top 5 on the offensive end of the floor. So let's take it to the tape. Perk, Danny Green. Guys, what's fascinating, right, is the Lakers' offense thrives in exactly what the defense of the Spurs does so well against. Can you explain, Danny?
San Antonio is very good at getting up into guys because they have a 7'4" guy behind them.
7'7".
To him. So when you have a Wemby behind you, Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell, they can guard guys in the perimeter comfortably. The Lakers are very good at scoring at the rim. Luka's actually good at getting to the free throw line as well. So they're one of the highest in the NBA at field goal percentage because they can get to the rim. Austin Reeves. So what they have to do, to me, Luka has to get up the ball quick. AR, swing, get it back, and attack, and be in attack mode right away. So if they can do this, change side to side, they can get some easy outlets at the rim. Not as easy with Wemby there, but they have to make sure that they move the ball, change side to side so the defense can shoot. This right here is where they need to make their money. They need to put Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic in pick and roll to get Wemby away from the basket. This is the only way that you can get an easy look at the rim. So if you get your big at the basket, I know people get on Rudy Gobert a lot, but Luka does this to anybody. That's Bam Adebayo, he's doing it too. So he can get around any big, but if you got to get Wemby away from the basket as much as possible if you want to get some easy looks at the rim.
All right, easy looks at the rim is a tall task, literally, when Victor Wembanyama is standing in the middle. But Luka is averaging over 41 a game, third most in the first 4 games of a season in NBA history, trailing only 2 Wilt years. You know that's pretty good. But Wemby and the Spurs,
really good.
They boast that's incredibly good. The second best defense in the league. So, Perk, how do they slow down Luka Doncic?
Well, it's easy because this is not Rudy Gobert and it's not Karl Anthony Towns. We're talking about witnessing one of the greatest defenders of all time, on the verge of being one of the greatest defenders. And we're talking about 7-7 Victor. Look at this possession. First of all, he know who he's going. He's sagging off. Look at this. Look at the activity. The drop coverage, active hands, getting back, taking off the lob, and then the activity on the ball, right? And then he knows that this guy is a non-shooter, so he's giving space down, and all of a sudden they get clearing the board. This is clogging up the paint, stopping drives, right? We know he leads the league in shot blocking, but the other areas is teams are intimidating. He's intimidating teams from driving the basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a big DeAndre Ayton night tonight as well. He has to do a better job of trying to bring Victor away from be a threat from the perimeter. But ultimately, it's going to be Austin Reeves and Luka trying to put him in pick and roll and make him work on that end of the floor.
Right. Thanks to Wemby, the Spurs have really walled off the paint with the third best defense against paint shots this season. But it's a little bit of a different story outside of the paint, right? The Spurs, they're allowing teams to shoot nearly 40% from 3. That is in the bottom 5 of the league. So now joined by our front office insider, Bobby Marks. Both the Spurs, Bobby, and the Lakers, they've had really impressive starts to the season so far. But it's the Lakers' 3-guard lineup that you have an eye on tonight. Wow.
For a November 5th game, I'm excited about this matchup here. I look at the 3-guard lineup, as you mentioned, with Marcus Smart and Austin Reeves and Luka here. They are running teams off the floor right now. 146 points per 100 possessions. They are a plus 29. Of course, this will probably change when LeBron comes back into the lineup here. But the spacing in here is what I like about this lineup here. And then a little bit to San Antonio. Did they find a little bit of a formula in that game the other night against Phoenix, getting Victor off the free throw line? 0 free throws that game here. But the chess matchup between J.J. Redick tonight, I'm all excited about this.
I don't know if they'll be able to. I highly expect Victor to have a bounce-back game and play way better than he did against Phoenix. But if Lakers want a chance to win, they do have to push the pace. And I have to give a lot of credit to the young guys. Jake LaRavia is showing up. I said Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, they're playing well. But, you know, they got to do a good job of trying to set with Victor Wembanyama. They got to get him away from the basket as much as possible. They got to put him in pick and roll, make him work defensively as much as possible. But again, the Lakers have done a great job. I'm going to give a lot of credit to J.J. Redick and those younger guys that have shown up, Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart. And I'm trying to think, Nick Jr.
Yeah, hitting some shots.
To win a game against Portland with Luka and AR resting is a big win for him.
Well, this is a huge test this is the biggest test for Victor and the San Antonio Spurs.
That they've had so far this season?
Yeah, they're going against the best duo in basketball right now.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, right? Both of these guys are putting up MVP-type numbers, right? It's no other second option in the league or Robin in the league that's fifth. Like, Luka is top 5 in scoring. Austin Reeves is top 5 in scoring and top 5 in assists, right? And he's the Robin to this squad. So it's like it's like we're witnessing greatness right in front of our eyes when it comes to Austin Reeves. And why I say greatness? Because he's getting you to 31 points, but he's also getting you to 9 assists, so he's making people around him better. On top of that, when his shot is not falling, you know what great players do? They get to the free throw line. He is getting to the free throw line at a high rate, especially those games when Luka was not playing. So I'm looking around the league and I'm saying to myself, what other duo is doing what these two guys are doing? And it's not one.
Yeah.
I remember when I was on a show 2 weeks ago when I said, did they have enough offense? And Perk was like, oh, he looked at me like, what? And what happened was, in the Miami game, 21 assists between the two players, making other players around you better. Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. They made Jackson Hayes look like a young Kenyon Martin the other day. So it's about the ability to kind of spread the basketball
and
around.
the fact that I didn't think they could play fast. I know things will change when LeBron gets back.
Right.
But the fact that they're pushing the pace and running with Miami, because Miami's trying to outrun people. They were able to keep up, not only keep up, but beat Miami and play their style of play.
And we are rapidly approaching the date that LeBron James, we've been circling that early to mid-November, that LeBron James could be reevaluated and start to inch back towards being available to play and make his season debut for the Los Angeles Lakers. We're getting closer and closer to that time. But I can tell you, I was at the San Antonio Spurs practice yesterday. We heard the clip of Victor Wembanyama immediately being able to call up, I've never beaten Luka in my career. It reminds me of Chris Paul. He had a list of all of the guys, all of the teams he'd never beat. And after games, he would come and say, I got another one. That's the type of competitive mindset that Victor has. He puts on a show when he is here in Hollywood. But tonight's game, it's in Los Angeles. And Luka, Wemby, he's always talked about that feeling of wanting to play against the Lakers, what it's like for the first time. Talked about that his rookie year. But the Spurs now, they're on a mission to cultivate a new identity, and it's centered around their young superstar. And it means creating an electric atmosphere with fans. And they've gotten a pretty interesting way that they're going about this. It's delightful, actually. They've held tryouts, and Wemby is the judge.
What's going to make people stand out?
I got here at 5 a.m.
Love, of course.
So it's all Spurs!
Wembenyama! Dedication. Loyalty. Appreciate it, Sam. Looks like you got what you. Yeah! We're creating a new supporters section in the First Bank Center. If this group of ultras reaches its full potential, I have no doubt that it's going to help us win games in the future for sure.
Let's go!
You know, we're scouting. We're trying out for the best fans.
Go Spurs, go!
The craziest fans, the diehards. Willing to, enter this new ultras group.
When I found out that they were doing this with the future we have, I had to be here because I thought this was my birthright.
Are you ready to get on your feet? Are you ready to get on your feet? Are you ready to get on your feet?
I'm ready, man.
Let's go! Go Spurs, go!
I love it. It looks like you're ready to start trance. I didn't even ask for nothing. You had ideas and stuff. I love your energy.
I'm gonna need you to bark.
Bark, okay.
Bark like a wild dog.
Yeah, like a coyote.
Dogs unleashed all night.
Oh no, baby!
Good morning. You still got voice? You good?
Yes, sir. I've been out there yelling since 6:30 in the morning.
Everybody up high, everybody down low. He's from the San Antonio. Go! Go! Wow!
Usually there's other people yelling with me, but
Yeah, of course.
that'll come. Yeah.
Is the rest of the league ready for a wall of ultras?
No.
I mean, how good is that? Perk, are you going to go try out? They're called the Jackals, I think?
I need that chair when we was sitting.
You need a throne. You're asking for a
chair.
throne. All right, we'll try to make that happen on the next show. I so enjoyed that. Hey, coming up here on NBA Today, Kendrick, can we call it the Bulls' most impressive win yet, do you think?
Yeah.
It kind of makes you rethink what Chicago's ceiling could be. What last night revealed about the Bulls' rise in the East. Plus, they handled business against Phoenix, but not without a few hiccups along the way. So Shab is going to join us with the latest on Steph, Jimmy, and what Kerr is saying about their workload. And they've been winning with that.
Oops.
Big battle at the top of the East last night. The Sixers facing Josh Giddey and the Bulls in Chicago. So this one looked like it was going to get out of hand, and that's thanks in large part to Tyrese Maxey. He had 31 points through 3 quarters. The Sixers held as large as a 24-point lead in the first half, and now we are coming up on 5 years since the last time the Bulls had a comeback of at least 24 points. It came in February of 2021. It was against Detroit. So this doesn't happen very often. Well, you shouldn't have turned your TV off. Fourth quarter here. Chicago dug deep. 10 minutes left. Josh Giddey drives, kicks it out to Jalen Smith for 3.
That was a big shot, big play. They got some good ball moves. The second half, totally two tails, 2 different nights, 2 different halves. So they had a really good second half.
Giddey became the first Bulls player since Michael Jordan, Danny, in '89 to have a triple-double.
Most improved.
Consecutive
I think
games.
he's most improved this year.
We showed it here. Drives inside, hit the floater.
Nice little feathery touch inside the lane.
And then 10 seconds left here, still a 1-point game. Giddey kicks it out to Nikola Vucevic, who nails the 3 to take a 2-point lead. Here's how it sounded on the Chicago Sports Network with Wayne Randazzo and Stacey King.
Carter sets up a screen. Giddey races to the basket, fires it out. Vucevic the shot.
Main for 3. Grizzles veteran steps up.
They were hyped. So, Perk, that's how it sounded. But how did it happen?
So, look at the spacing. Now you have Joel Embiid down at the bottom. He has a decision to make. You put the young fella Edgecombe in the pick and roll, miscommunication. Josh Giddey does a hell of a job of attacking Joel Embiid because he doesn't have the lift. He has to help early. All of a sudden, you leave one of the best shooting bigs in the corner wide open for a 3. Hell of a find by Josh Giddey.
Here's Josh Giddey after this monster win.
Tonight was one of the best wins that I've ever been a part of, just in terms of, how bad we were down in that, early in the third, we're down 20, 25 points, and to gut that one out and dig ourselves out of the hole that we did was unbelievable. And as I stated, it was, 10, 11 guys tonight that contributed, and I thought both units, first and second, did not leave probably in the last, 18 minutes of the game to really bring it back. That's a very good win in front of a big crowd and against a team that's been as hard as anyone in the league. They were 5-1 coming in tonight and feeling good, getting guys back healthy. So, yeah, great win.
We haven't talked about the Bulls on this side of the column for a while, Bobby. How big of a win is this for Chicago?
We're usually talking about them in April, the play-in.
Yeah.
I think it's season-defining. I know we're only 2 weeks into the season.
It's November.
I know, but look, I think just that when you're at this part, when nobody thinks anything of you, and predictions don't mean anything when we start playing, you just got to start stacking wins, and now they've got 1 loss, and they're 6-1 here, and they're the best record in the Eastern Conference, and Josh Giddey looks like an all-star here with another triple-double here. It is huge. I think it's more about the ability to come back, from a big deficit like they did last night.
Oh, Billy Donovan could actually coach now. He could
Hall of Fame coach,
I'm just
third
saying, but
longest tenured coach.
He actually could coach. And what happened is we're watching a true definition of a team. We're watching guys losing themselves in a team, being stars in a row. Vucevic playing at a high level. Josh Giddey playing at an all-NBA level right now. And what happened was, and I'm going to say the quiet thing out loud, they got rid of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, and Billy Donovan was able to get the attention in the ears of that locker room.
What's impressive to me is they're doing this without Kobe White. Carolina guy, I think he's one of their best offensive guys out there. But I think a good amount of it also was Philly on the other side of it. They just had a really bad second half.
You took the game off, didn't you?
I did.
You put the kids to bed.
I'm not a gambler, so I predicted that Joe would get a certain amount of points, that Tyrese would get, and I predicted Philly would win the game. So I'm like, oh, this is good. I got my predictions in the books. I'm winning. Put the kids to sleep, go use the bathroom, come back. What the hell happened? I'm like, there's no way Chicago won this game, but they came back. I said, Joel got cold in that fourth quarter. Second half, he only had 2 points. But Chicago just kept coming back. Did to them what Philly did to other teams. Philly has come back against Boston. They've come back against Washington. Chicago stayed the course. Got to give a lot of credit to guys like Isaac Okoro, Herter, like all the others. But they played an unbelievable game, and Josh Giddey's been unbelievable. So I think he's most improved this year, which is crazy to say because he's balling last year.
Credit to Chicago, but that was also an epic collapse on the 76ers side of all of this. All right, we got some injury updates, so let's go coast to coast to get you those from around the league. We're going to start with a very important one, near and dear to our hearts, the return of Red Panda to the NBA last night. That happened in Chicago. It was her first NBA halftime since breaking her left wrist in a fall during a performance at the Commissioner's Cup on July 1st. So, Perk, how many times have you seen Red Panda? We're glad to see her back.
Yeah. Absolutely, and back like she forgot something. You know, I did a toe touch when I see her. I was so happy.
Do we have that toe touch on camera? We're going to need that. All right, next up, a little bit more serious here. Walker Kessler, he will undergo season-ending surgery on his left shoulder. This is according to Chris Haynes. Kessler averaged 14, 11 rebounds, a double-double in his last 5 games this season. So, Bobby, what does this mean entering a contract for him?
Yeah, they weren't able to get an extension done in October here. He's going to be probably one of the top centers in restricted free agency. You want to feel good for Utah here, but this is certainly a big blow for them.
Next up, let's head to New Orleans. Zion Williamson missed the Pelicans' first win of the season last night. It was against the Hornets. He has a strained left hamstring. He will be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days. So, Danny, what could this injury mean for the Pelicans?
It's going to be tough, but it's going to take a group effort. You need guys like Jose Alvarado come together. They need some Ted Lasso energy in that locker room to be positive. But finally get the monkey off their back and get a win was huge for them. Willie Green says got to find a way to keep that positivity up, encouragement, and they've shown that they can win without one of their superstars. They got to continue to do that and figure out ways to just stay afloat.
Hopefully it is that short term, only a week and a half here for him. But finally, last night, Jimmy Butler left the Warriors' win over the Suns with a lower back soreness. It's an issue that emerged in the aftermath of the team's Saturday night loss in Indianapolis. He's played in all 8 Warriors games this season. He's averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists this season. But let's get a little bit more on this. Joining us now is our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, Warriors, they're going into the second night of a back-to-back here. This one is against the Kings. Who's going to be available for Golden State in this one?
Stephen Curry is out tonight. He's sick. The expectation has been that Draymond Green would be sitting out as well on the second night of a back-to-back with bumps and bruises. Officially, he's going to be listed questionable, but the big one was Jimmy Butler with the back injury that he suffered in Indianapolis on Saturday. My understanding is Jimmy Butler is pushing to play tonight. His status is up in the air, but he is trying hard to play with that back issue. He's been having around-the-clock 24/7 treatment on. The Warriors are starting 8 of 9 on the road beginning tonight. They play in Denver on Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. You want to be able to have your big 3 back and right for that game. No Steph Curry tonight in the second night of a back-to-back out with that illness. Shams, thank you so very much. But while we're talking about Steph Curry, in case you missed it, last night, did y'all see this? The moon aligned with a specific Steph Curry billboard in Los Angeles, and it gives the look that Curry is not just the best shooter on planet Earth, but possibly in
the galaxy.
I'll tell you what.
I didn't know. I would have went out there and watched that last night.
Just saying, nothing surprises me anymore in 2025.
That's awesome. Sometimes nature just gives us these really, really cool gifts. Hey, coming up here on NBA Today, what is fueling Victor Wembanyama's historic start to his 3rd season? Brian Windhorst, he takes us inside the mind of the superstar. And speaking of Wemby, he's taking on Luka.
Victor Wembanyama, it's never over. A figment of our basketball imaginations. Wembanyama, the fake, the reverse, and the foul. Wembanyama, oh my! They don't know what to do to contain this extraterrestrial.
Should we take a closer look at Wemby Mania? Because you like, Perk, that he's attacking the rim. He's scoring 14 points a game in the paint. That's the 6th most in the league. And he's averaged just under 10 paint points a game in his first 2 seasons of his career. So he's clearly placing an emphasis here. On the other end, he's averaging 4.7 blocks a game. That's nearly twice as many as any other player in the NBA, by the way. And with 7 blocks tonight, which for him wouldn't be crazy, he would be the first player to average 5 blocks a game, 7 games into the season in the last 20 years. And the Spurs defense has been dominant with Wemby on the floor, holding teams under 98 points per 100 possessions. And that would easily rank first in the NBA. How important is he? Well, with Wemby off the floor, the Spurs defense has been among the league's worst. In just his 3rd season, the 7'5", or Perk saying 7'7" phenom has taken his game to new heights and his team to a new level. He's showing the kind of dominance that could redefine the future of the franchise. Brian Windhorst has more.
Gosh, he looks like someone who is kind of a product of what the new Hooper is supposed to look like.
Yeah, he's like the 2K creative player. Every point guard that wants to be 7 foot.
Everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years, but he's more like an alien.
Victor Wembanyama
Long before the hype, Victor Wembanyama had the confidence. When he was just 14, he told his coach he always visualized his first initial, V, represented the Roman numeral for number 5, all the positions he planned to play in the NBA. Now at just 21, the world can see how Wembanyama can pass and can dribble. He can shoot.
Pull-up baseline jumper, got it!
And of course, he can block shot after shot after shot.
Blocked by Victor.
That vision for the V is no longer unbelievable.
And slams!
This season, perhaps for the first time in his career, Wembanyama is fully embracing what his size can do. And he comes into it armed with 10,000 hours spent on developing all his skills. This combination is in the process of devastating the NBA.
With the slam!
I think it's just an ongoing kind of partnership in terms of developing, nurturing, supporting him, but also holding him accountable and challenging him to continue to be more efficient, make better decisions, and see where he can improve.
Last year, almost half his shots were three-pointers.
Victor now launching a deep three. Victor Wembanyama.
He got to the line just 4 times a game. He was good. He made the All-Star team for the first time, but he was letting the opponents off the hook. This year, in a ferocious change, a stronger Wembanyama is on the attack and leveraging his size with aggression.
I mean, with his height, where he gets his catches from, I feel like he's been just facing up and rising over for a way easier shot this year.
Lobbing it up, and Wembanyama.
I still got a lot to learn, but knowing more about the game and knowing more about my teammates and vice versa. Trying to get to the rim, trying to get more layups, and more dunks, the most efficient shots.
Now less than 20% of his shots are threes. His free throws have soared to 10 a game.
Wembanyama and 1!
And he and the Spurs have vaulted to the top of the West in the early going. 6 of the last 7 MVP awards have been won by 7-footers, but the league has never seen somebody this tall with this skill set.
Victor throws it down. It's absurd.
What we're seeing now is new to the sport, and with this new mission, Wembanyama has raised the ceiling for this Spurs season.
We've never seen anything like Wemby before, and tonight the Lakers will face the San Antonio Spurs. So for more on that, we welcome in our senior insider, our senior writer, Dave McMenamin. Dave, you were at Lakers shoot-around today. What can you tell us about how the Lakers are going to try to approach containing Wemby here?
Yeah, Malik, I was talking to DeAndre Ayton at shoot-around this morning. He said that he actually spoke up when they had their meeting today about how they're going to defend Victor Wembanyama. And he said that he wants to be the focal point as the low man and be kind of giving out defensive instructions to his guards and forwards in front of him. So he said they can, quote, bruise Victor up a bit. So I'd expect to see some Rui Hachimura on some doubles. Certainly when Jared Vanderbilt comes in off the bench, look for him. Marcus Smart. And obviously, there's no steady diet you can give Victor Wembanyama. He'll be able to pick you apart. And so we'll see some things kind of being interchangeable throughout the game. Also, Ayton told me that, hey, you can't really front the guy because he's that big. Right. I'll front every once in a while if he has it angle on me right in front of the basket. Otherwise, I got to stay as an anchor behind him.
Yeah, you're going to have to try a couple of different things with Victor. Not one person is going to be able to slow him down. We do have some injury updates here for this game, Dave. Austin Reeves was questionable coming into the game. What are you hearing about his status?
Yeah, Malika, Austin Reeves has now been downgraded to out. It's going to be his second straight game missed with some soreness in his right groin. He started to feel discomfort in his groin Sunday against the Miami Heat, was able to play through that entire game. But the Lakers, this is a cautious move holding him out. Austin was a full participant in shoot-around this morning. But as we've seen thus far this season, the Lakers are going with the next man up mentality. We saw what they did in Portland the other night with so many of their key pieces out of the lineup. You got contributions from guys like Nick Smith Jr., Bronny James, obviously Ayton and Rui Hachimura really holding the offensive burden. And they feel like this will be their plan of attack, certainly in the early going, because they want to get their team ready to play their best basketball April through June, not risk further injury at this stage of the season.
All right, like we've seen, it could be Jake LaRavia time once again for the Los Angeles Lakers. Dave McMenamin, thank you so very much for those updates. Bringing it back here to studio, what changes? You were talking about how Austin and Luka is the best duo in basketball right now, Perk. So without Austin in the lineup against the Spurs, what has to change?
Well, like Dave just said, the next man up, that's their mentality. And they had a GM poll where Rob Pelinka was the laughing stock of it and how the Lakers didn't have depth. But the others are stepping up. You got Jake LaRavia. He's averaging a career high right now, 12 points a game. Rui Hachimura is averaging 16, shooting 46% from the three, 60% from the field. And right now you're looking at a diversion of DeAndre Ayton that looked like the #1 pick DeAndre Ayton. So JJ is getting max out of those guys. The depth, Marcus Smart. Yes, we know his numbers are not going to show up in the stat sheet, but his impact on winning has been there.
Boy, am I the kiss of death of positivity. We're talking about this three-guard lineup, and we get no Austin Reeves tonight.
I'm glad that Dave says it's precautionary, but dang.
Perk hit it right on the head. You know, it's funny. I look back to July, and we were talking about the Lakers, and everybody said, look, they haven't signed anybody. And then you look at Jake LaRavia and DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart and even Nick Smith Jr. on a two-way, just kind of finding guys to plug and play. Similar to how San Antonio, when Danny was in back in the day, they find guys who know their roles, even when you have players out with injuries like we're going to see tonight with Austin Reeves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting DeAndre Ayton to be up for this game. I'm glad that he spoke up in the locker room.
Yeah, Perk, your ears were perking up when he was chasing a crowd while keeping the Warriors undefeated at home so far this season. He is out tonight, as our Shams Charania reported, against the Sacramento Kings. But the Warriors are making just over 16 threes a game, the fourth most in their first 8 games of a season in NBA history. 2 of the 3 teams with more made the finals. We now welcome in the Warriors governor, Joe Lacob. And Joe, of course, you are here to talk about Golden State, but you also have a really special cause that we're here to chat a little bit about today, because the Warriors Community Foundation surpassed $50 million in cumulative impact since 2012. Why has that been so important for you, for your wife, Nicole, to place this emphasis?
Well, I think both of us, grew up where education was something very important. First, I think we were both the first to go to college in our family. And I think when we did the Warriors, you really want to be active in the community and do something for the community so that they know that you're with them just like they're with you. And so it all made sense to start this over 10 years ago. And we're very active in the community and now have raised over $50 million and given away over $50 million.
Over $50 million is such an incredible feat that you all have reached in such a short amount of time. So congratulations on that. And I can look forward to continuing to see the work that you're doing in the community. A lot of this is also the love of the Golden State Warriors. I'm from the Bay Area. Fans have so much love for this team. And a week from today, it marks the 15-year anniversary of you and Peter Gruber becoming the governors of the Warriors. So is there a moment in this 15-year run that you think sort of defines what this has been like for you?
Well, winning a championship, certainly after 4 years.
Or a couple.
That was a big one. That was a big one. And then winning 3 more. Also, great accomplishment. Feel great about it. Opening our arena was another one that I think it makes such an impact in the Bay Area to have that arena in San Francisco. Another big one. But this foundation, honestly, the job that my wife has done running it, I'm just so impressed by, and we're so pleased by it.
I always look forward to running into her at games because she is such a light, and also she is literally dazzling, always on the sideline, and something sparkly, and that just so embodies her and her personality. And it also embodies what the soul of this team has been, which is Steph Curry. He has dazzled over these last couple of years. How do you see his future with the franchise?
Well, he's going to play till he's 45, like Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that Steph has been an incredible, voice, leader, just an icon for all of Bay Area sports, in fact, national sports. We are, not only is he a great player, but is a great person, is so active in the community, as you know, just like we are in Oakland and in San Francisco. And he's a great partner for us.
You've had front row seats to, I think, one of the greatest runs in modern sports. Is there a story or a moment that maybe fans don't know about that you think embodies what this run has been like?
Wow, so many, honestly. I just think the fact that we were able to take something that for 40 years wasn't that successful, had made the playoffs once and 17 years prior to that. Just to be able to turn that around and to maintain that level of consistency for a pretty long period of time, and hopefully a lot longer period of time. I just think it's a great feeling. And, it's not the winning of the championships, although that's important. It's the process of getting there and all the enjoyment you get from working with all the great people and our fans and the community.
And Joe, before we let you go, what's next? You've raised $50 million for your community. What goal are you all setting? What goal are you and Nicole setting next?
Well, we honestly have a lot of goals. The first 15 years was great. We impact, 62 Bay Area nonprofits this last year, which is amazing. Gave away over $5 million. We want to do a lot more of that, and we want to win a lot more championships, obviously. I always look to Jerry Buss as one of the greatest donors in sports, and that record of 16 finals, I think it was, in 33 seasons. And from my personal standpoint, that's kind of something to shoot for, to have that level of consistency over a long period of time. And that's what we're going to try to do.
We love goals, and we love being able to watch what you all are doing. Joe Lacob, thank you so much for stopping by NBA Today. We appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season.
Well, thank you very much.
We have a packed show, but before we bounce, we've got to show this video. Speaking of bounce, check out Kentucky's Colin Chandler. Perhaps the dunk of the year already?
Ooh. That's nasty.
And the stare
with
down.
the cuff.
And the stare down.
Perk, have you ever dunked on anyone like that?
No.
Dunk on people. Just
not like that.
I don't know if he has a shoulder rotation. Well, our producers went deep into the vault to find the best college dunks by current NBA players. Got it? So current NBA players in college, best dunks. At number 5, Alex Caruso.
Uh-oh.
This is 2014 versus Ole Miss. The move? The finish?
Must have been the hair.
Maybe he's got it. Maybe.
But it was everything that made that dunk. From the behind the back catch.
Zion was different in college. I mean, he still got this in the NBA, but the show at Duke? Woo.
That's what you call a throwdown. Look at the net. But look at the net after the ball go through.
That's not a ceiling fan, right? That's a full windmill.
Yeah. Number
3, Anthony Edwards. This is in 2020 against Vandy. The slam, and then the dance. He walked on air there. The hang time. At number 2, Perk, how about some old Russ? This is Russell Westbrook at UCLA, putting posters on the Oregon Ducks.
Same energy.
Same energy.
Fired
Just so mean.
And at number 1, Bobby Marks, we had to go with Ja Morant. The backdoor cut, jumping over the UT Martin defender.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Goodness.
And Ja's not that tall either.
Yeah, this is when Call 12 was born.
Jumping over somebody at 6'4".
We want to see more of it in the NBA. Man, that's fun to rewatch. A new coach, a new style. Let's talk about the Knicks. A big test tonight as the Wolves roll into Madison Square Garden. How much progress has New York really made since last season? Tonight may reveal the answer.
I still get butterflies.